Hello, Westerners. Welcome back to the last episode of the Gen Z series. I hope you all had a great time listening to us. In today's episode, we will talk about how will education look in the next 20 years.
Wow, that's a long way. We Gen Zs love focusing on the future, I guess.
That is so true. Even more, the COVID-19 pandemic shows us that we cannot take the future of education for granted.
To achieve our vision and prepare our education systems for the future, we have to consider not just the changes that appear most probable, but also the ones that we are not expecting. Imagining alternative future for education pushes us to think through plausible outcomes and helps agile and responsive systems to develop.
Yes, indeed. And Prasidi, don't you think the underlying question is to what extent are our current spaces, people, time, technology in schooling helping or hindering our vision? Will modernizing and fine tuning the current system, the conceptual equivalent of reconfiguring the windows and doors of a house, allow us to achieve our goals? Is an entirely different approach to the organization of people, spaces, time, and technology again in education needed?
Wow, that's a lot to think about. Modernizing and extending current schooling would be more or less what we see now. Content and space that are largely standardized across the system, primarily school based, including digital delivery and homework, and focus on individual learning experiences. Digital technology is increasing present, but as is currently the case, is primarily used as a delivery method to recreate existing content and pedagogies rather than to revolutionize teaching and learning.
Any idea what would transformation look like then? It would involve revisioning the spaces where learning takes place, not simply by moving chairs and tables, but by using multiple physical and virtual spaces, both inside and outside of schools. There would be full individual personalization of content and pedagogy enabled by cutting edge technology using body information, facial expression, and neural signals.
We had seen flexible individual and group work on academic topics as well as on social and community needs. Reading, writing, and calculating would happen as much as debating and reflecting in joint conversations. Students would learn with books and lectures as well as through hands on work and creative expression. What if schools became learning hubs and used the strength of communities to deliver collaborative learning, building the role of informal and formal learning as well, and shifting time and relationships?
Wow, the future is exciting me. Alternatively, schools could disappear altogether. Build on rapid advancements in artificial intelligence, virtual and augmented reality, and the Internet of Things. Is this future it is possible to assess and certify knowledge, skills, and attitudes instantaneously? As the distinction between formal and informal learning disappears, individual learning advances by taking advantage of collective intelligence to solve real life problems. While this scenario might seem far fetched, we have already integrated much of our life into our smartphones, watches, digital personal assistants in a way that could have been unthinkable a decade ago. All of these scenarios have important implications on our goals and governance of education, as well as the teaching workforce. Schooling systems in many countries have changed as well.
That's splendid. Thinking about the future requires imagination and also rigor. We must guard against the temptation to choose a favorite future and prepare for it alone. In a world where shocks like pandemics and extreme weather events, owing to climate change, social unrest, and political polarization, are expected to be more frequent, we cannot afford to be caught off guard again.
That is so true. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this series of Gen Z as much as we did. We hope to see you soon, but until then, take care and keep growing. Bye.
Bye.